In the past few years, we have seen some ridiculous transfer fees for players that if they weren't wearing their club's jersey, you'd assume they'd be representing your local Sunday League team. And after my latest video on the top 10 biggest transfers of all time, I came away from it realizing how many of these signings failed and did not end up living up to their expectations. So what I'm going to do today is analyze the potential reasons of why so many players that are signed for ridiculous transfer fees struggle to live up to the hype, why it's happening so often, and with the help of some examples, figure out where it all goes wrong. Also, before I get into this, please let me know if you agree in the comments and if you have any examples of the team that you support. If you remember what it was like when you were a teenager, or if you currently are between the age of 17 to 20, think about what you were doing 1 year ago, things would change rapidly and life around you changes fast, and you may have felt like you had a new personality and perspective shift every few months, like having a golf phase and looking back and trying so hard not to cringe. But now imagine going through this phase with the whole world watching you. I'm always amazed how young these players are and how much pressure and expectation is put on them. For example, when Odegaard signed for Madrid when he was 16 years old. I mean, the signing had everyone thinking he was going to be the next big thing, while he was competing for a spot with Luka Modric and Toni Kroos. Or take Anthony Martial for example. He became the most expensive teenager in history at the time when he signed for Manchester United at 19 years old for 60 million euros. And moving to a new country, not having a proper support system or structure, and pundits eagerly awaiting to criticize you as soon as you just step one foot out of place. And it's not only the mental aspect of it, it also has to do with injuries and the playing style. Dembele, when he moved to Barcelona, he was 20 years old and was still growing, and being in such intense competition, he suffered multiple injuries which prevented him from reaching his full potential. Another reason I think is the intensity of play when you join a big name team, and it just gets harder if it's even in a new league. This is exactly what happened to Renato Sanchez when he signed for Bayern Munich in 2016. The youngster just couldn't keep up with the intensity of the Bundesliga and lacked consistency, and obviously had insane competition for a spot in midfield. But of course, there are always exceptions. I mean, take Bellingham for example. He's young, signed for big money, and is already a Madrid icon. Same as his teammate Vinny Jr., he signed for the Galacticos at 16 as well, and obviously struggled in the beginning a bit, but overcame it all at the end and nearly won the Ballon d'Or last year. Other examples are Mbappe and Haaland, but let me know what you think in the comments. A major reason why I believe players fail at big clubs is because they struggle to adapt, be it due to playing style, language barrier, and the physical demands. I mean, when star players are emerging at smaller clubs, the club usually adjusts their style of play to suit the star player so that they can utilise the player more and more and have him show his full potential, which at the end of the day also benefits the club's bank account. And once these players make the move, they are probably not the star player anymore and they struggle to adapt. I mean, take Joao Felix as an example. Not that Benfica is a small club, but the Portuguese league and Spanish have its differences, and signing for Atletico Madrid was massive at the time, but he just struggled to fit in. And it was similar for Di Maria when he signed for United, although with him it was more off the pitch. Having the worst coach of his career, he also really struggled with adapting to life in Manchester. In almost identical cases when Sanchez signed for United, already after his first training session at Carrington, he wanted to have his contract terminated and return to the Emirates, and it showed. He just couldn't adapt and said that things at the club were bad and that's why he couldn't perform. Another case is when Werner signed for Chelsea, and according to Henry, he failed because he didn't feel the love of the fans. And as soon as Werner returned to Leipzig, he's been back to his old self, full of confidence and showing his capabilities as a striker. But of course, this doesn't apply to everyone. However, I think it's a major factor that is underestimated a lot of the time, especially when the players are young. I think this is one of the least visible, but can have the biggest impact, because let's be honest here, no player is really worth hundreds of millions of euros or whatever currency it is. It just doesn't add up. And now imagine having to prove your worth to millions of people for 90 minutes every week if you get the time. I believe it's extremely difficult to be able to live up to your value. I mean, there's so many examples that suffered of this fate, but I think Lukaku re-signing as Chelsea's record transfer was one of them. Anthony when he moved to United for 95 million euros. Torres back when he joined Chelsea and broke the Premier League transfer record, and the list just goes on, but I think you get my point. Every single step of these players is being analysed, and it almost feels like they lose their footballing creativity and give in to the pressure because they want to justify their price tag. I mean, I'm no psychiatrist, but imagine you join a new company And everyone around you knows how much that company paid for you to be a part of them. And within 2 to 3 weeks, you have such a small window to prove to everyone that you are worth some insane sum that is so hard to imagine because it's so much money. Again, some people, they can handle this pressure, but I think in general, most people, they'll crumble under such circumstances. Not only footballers face performance anxiety on the weekend, but imagine instead of lasting for only 90 seconds, you need to last for 90 minutes on the biggest stage possible in your life with everyone watching you, including your family. I'm obviously just joking, but when it applies to football, I really do mean it. I mean, for example, remember when Nicolas Pepe joined Arsenal for 80 million from Lille? Not that Lille is a tiny club or anything, but comparing it to Arsenal, the audience is just tenfold. Same with Zaha when he moved from Palace to United, or Gervinho when he joined Arsenal, and even when Andy Carroll joined Liverpool and later admitted he didn't even want to go to Anfield and he was hoping he would actually fail his medical. I think this last factor ties all the other factors together though, and it affects the confidence and mentality of the player the most, which obviously is the outcome that coaches, the board and the fans judge you on. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and coming along on this ride with me. I'd really be curious to know what you think are the main factors that are affecting these massive signings nowadays, and let me know the worst signing your club ever made. I'd appreciate a like on the way out and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.